The support that you give or don't give in a course can create hurdles. Often in courses, support is defined as a live session at a specific time that's either Q&A or masterclass style. It's narrow and not helpful. So in this video, we're going to walk through more effective and honestly easier ways to offer support. I'm Dr. Catrina Mitchum, and I have been designing and redesigning courses online since 2009. So I'm going to actually start this off with a story. The first class that I taught online had office hours. So it was a specific day of the week at a specific time in my time zone, and nobody showed up once, not even once. It was supposed to be a place to come and ask questions, and I did not get anybody to show up live. But what I did get was a lot of questions in my email. So I sat in an empty WebEx room, sometimes answering those emails, but I got those emails any time of the day, any day of the week. That was the last time I did a live Q&A, because when I asked why people didn't show up, the survey results said it was the timing, or they were afraid that they would forget what their question was by the time my 1 hour on Thursdays rolled around. So they'd send the question via email so they wouldn't forget. So the support that I offered that in that moment was a hurdle. They couldn't come, or they saw it as not helpful. Other support that I offered in that course were one-on-one chats that they could schedule using my calendar. It had, variety of open spots. And I had them scheduled at very specific critical moments in their learning journeys. Those that needed it could sign up, and it didn't have to be a video. It could be in a chat or whatever. Those were well attended. And the point here is that it needs to be the right support for the right learner at the right time. So this is where options come in, and why building it into the design of the course is going to save your sanity. The biggest hurdles in terms of support, other than that, are typically in terms of not enough support. Even if your course was sold as a self-study, there should still be tech support. So the rest of this video is going to cover when and how to offer different types of support. So that first one is tech support, and tech support should be, I like to use very specific channels. So if you've got tech questions, do it here, or email me, or whatever it happens to be. And tech support should be one of those that no matter what kind of course or style of course you've got, you should be offering that kind of support. Things break. Sometimes course platforms change, and it causes changes to your course that you're going to need to go in and fix. The second type of support is Q&A. As my story showed, sometimes live Q&A isn't the best bet, but what I did do the next time I ran that course was I shifted the Q&A to an asynchronous. And so that could be in Slack or WhatsApp or whatever your preferred asynchronous space is, but you should put parameters around it. So what kinds of questions can you ask here? How often do I check it? When should you expect a response? And so that is, I think, a better way to do Q&A, because it accounts for people working through things on their own time and having a question instead of saving the questions for a live session. The third type of support is that kind of momentum or struggle points within a course. The way that I like to remove those hurdles is offering a very short one-on-one session. It could be 15 minutes, it could be 30 minutes. It depends on what the thing is. And that's going to be something that you're going to know, right? Because you're the expert in the thing that you're teaching. But having that as an option, and that could be a live, it could be a phone call, it could be a chat, right? Doing video calls isn't the way that things like that have to happen to help somebody move through something. It could also be something that is more asynchronous, right? They submit something to you for feedback, and then you respond to it and send it back, within whatever the allotted time frame is. The other kind of support that can create hurdles if it's not there is checking in. And so this can be checking in when they've stopped participating. This can be checking in at those critical moments when people tend to struggle to move through to the next step. It could be checking in because they've told you that they're having a hard time with something. And the last support area that I'm going to cover is accountability. And I have talked about accountability a little bit in the last video, but I'm talking about accountability in terms of support because you don't always have to be the one to hold folks accountable. You can create space for people to find their own accountability buddy in your course. You can create space for them to give feedback to each other. And those that want the accountability, that feel like they need the accountability, will be able to jump in and get what they need. So support is kind of a big word that gets narrowed down into, oh, just offer live sessions. But there are so many better and more effective ways to do it that also can help save your time and energy. There's more than what I've given you in this video, but choose one. Try it out. See how it goes. I'd love to know in the comments. And next week, we're going to talk about systems and how systems can create or remove hurdles.